Actually, I talk about Brooklyn everywhere I go in the state, and I do get a chance to move around the state quite a bit. Last week in Buffalo, a couple just before that in Wayne County and Rochester. And I consider Brooklyn an example of how a group can be in an area dominated by a different philosophy and political organization, but yet have a very big say in what is going on in communities. And I think the unique thing about unique's wrong, but I think one of the telling things about the Conservative Party in Brooklyn and Fran, and I think our elected officials will agree, the group in Brooklyn is very civically active. I mean, Fran was off the charts in activity. All the members of the party are active. They look at their political activity as an extension of civic activity, but with the edge being you're looking to elect an individual to the state assembly, to the city council, to Congress, you know, or judges that actually are going to affect the quality of our lives. I can tell you for a fact, in Brooklyn, it's not about jobs. It's about the quality of the lives of the people that are members of the community. And we ring our doorbells and we talk to people all the time, but it's really mostly about, in my view, what can make Brooklyn a better place. And it just so turns out we're all in agreement. The streets need to be safer, the streets need to be cleaner, the taxes need to be lower, inflation needs to be under control, environmental policy should be actually normal.
I wanted to come here because the Conservative Party has always played a tremendous role in my election. And all of you who are here today supporting the Conservative Party know that the Conservative Party has oftentimes made the difference in races for Assembly, for Senate, for Congress, and it is an important cause that you're here to support. And I want to thank Chairwoman Fran Villa-Barone for her leadership. I want to thank our state chairman, Gerard Kassar, for his leadership. And there was a time when after Marty left, I was one of the only elected officials from the Republican side in Brooklyn. I was the only one. And now we have so many people who wear the Republican Conservative banner. And that is because of all of you who are here today in the leadership of the Conservative Party and the Republican Party. So thank you. You know, in less than a week, we're going to decide the future of this country. And I feel very good about our chances to take the House of Representatives, flip the U.S. Senate to fire Chuck Schumer, and win the presidency and restore Donald Trump as the 47th president of the United States. So let's get out there and continue to work. And I have to say, I was just out there earlier with Steve Chang. He's going to flip that state Senate seat. And Brooklyn will once again have a Republican Conservative in the Senate. And we have other opportunities. And we have other incumbents who are in tough races. Lester Chang, Alec Berkrasny. We need to make sure that these candidates and these elected officials get elected. Because we have to have more fighters to stand up against the radical left agenda. So, do we want to make sure that we have cheap gas prices, affordable utility bills, and we can go to the supermarket and afford to put food on the table for our families? Yeah. Do we want to make sure that we end the 60 executive orders that this administration put in place that undid our border completely wide open, bringing gang members and drug traffickers, sex traffickers to our city? Yes. I don't know, it sounds like you're undecided on that. Well, the reality is this is it. We cannot make it up after Election Day, and we've won some tremendous battles. I see Councilman David Carr here also shares both sides of the bridge. You know, we stopped non-citizen voting in New York City. We fought, and we really great case where it made the governor feel very uncomfortable, and we were able to halt congestion pricing.
Yeah.
Notice in our area here in Brooklyn, in my congressional district, we don't have a migrant shelter where other parts of the city have over 200 shelters in other congressional districts. We are winning these battles, but we need more help. And the more people we can elect that carry the Conservative Party, the better off we will be in being successful in these fights. So thank you for being here, thank you for supporting us, and let's get out there and elect some more common sense minded individuals, so when we go back to work in January, whether it's in Albany or in Washington, we have more people fighting for a secure border to end the mass illegal migration here in New York City that has been wreaking havoc all across the 5 boroughs. Let's make sure that this music's killing me, it's great. Let's make sure that we make this country affordable again and prosperous again. And I look forward to going back in January without Chuck Schumer and with President Donald Trump. Thank you very much, everyone.
So I just want to say thank you very much, and to everyone here for the Conservative Party. It is a very real fight that we are up against. And this is not about political party, it's about doing the right thing. We are constantly hearing on the far left about the new generation of politics, and we have to take that seriously, because what are they really saying about this new generation of politics? Right now, I know for now that we have a serious issue, not just in our city, but in our country. As the migrant crisis, we have an issue where we have electeds that don't respect our law enforcement. We have crime. We have our public safety. We even have an administration within our city where there is a very dark cloud right over them. And I feel as though for us here in the city, as Americans, as residents, we deserve better. So instead of waiting for next Tuesday, to happen, and a new generation, all the fancy talk, we need to do what's right, and that's for the American people. And I do want to say that they're going so far to attack some of our colleagues who are doing tremendous work here in Brooklyn and in Albany, and we have to fight against that because they know what they're doing is wrong, and we have to stand together. And sometimes it takes where we have to stand on a platform that may be uncomfortable, but it's about doing the right thing for our community and standing up. God bless you, God bless this country.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your endless support to the Conservative Party. My name is Michael Novakhov. I represent the 45th Assembly District, which is Brighton Beach, Shipshead Bay, Midwood, and Gravesend. And I'm proud to be a Republican, you know, and a conservative, of course. And when I'm doing my race now and meeting with different groups of people, the first question they ask is, Michael, what party do you represent? This is the most asked question. And I'm proudly saying Republican and conservative. And I remember when I first time visited the Conservative Party and met with Fran Villamaron and the committee, we talked about the difference between the Republican Party and the Conservative Party, and now I am explaining to my constituents this difference between the Conservative Party and the Republican Party. So there's a moment of education here. You know, it's my first term in the New York State Assembly, and I'm a brand new politician. I didn't know how things worked in politics. I was a bit naive, maybe. So first, when I came to Albany and saw that, you know, there's a super majority and we're in a minority and we kind of can't do much, right? We can't Our bills don't get to the floor, unfortunately, and stuff like that. I was a little disappointed and maybe even a little depressed. But then I felt what we really can do as Republicans and conservative, what we can do in the district. And we do so many great things. We help so many people, and I'm extremely proud of what we do in the district. My predecessor's door was closed to the constituents, unfortunately. It is open now to everyone. We closed 1,500 constituent cases in 20 months. From very simple ones to some things that I'm really proud of. And Jaime Williams, Assemblywoman Williams, was just speaking about the migrant crisis. I'm extremely proud that I put together a press conference back in January this year, and we protected, together with Jaime, together with other Republicans and conservatives, we protected New York City schools from migrants being sheltered in our schools. We did that just putting together one press conference. It was done. And I'm extremely proud of what we do here, what all of us doing here.
I feel so optimistic that our party, our conservative party, and our next future president will run this country and help us to stay the course, stay the right course, our family value. I feel so optimistic on that. Doesn't matter what the pundits say, but when you felt that energy at Madison Square Garden, you just can't help that optimism that New York, I feel New York is a battleground state. I don't know what anybody say, but I feel it's a battleground state. We can prove it. But Jerry, I know we have a big shoe to fill. This is only a marked beginning, and I feel that all we need to flip is several more seats in Queens and with Stephen. Then we know that the Asian and Southern Brooklyn definitely turning red, solid red. And the Democrats have no idea how to handle us.
Thank you to the Conservative Party, Chairman Kassar, Fran, my good friend Fran. Thank you, Chairman of the GOP, Richie Bersanian. I don't know how many of you remember, but a couple years ago, we flipped a Democrat seat that was Democrat for over 100 years. Obviously, we could not have done that without the help of the Conservative Party, so thank you so much for supporting us. We really, it's not easy to be six. We're six. We used to be 3. And this is really historic because we are now 6. We went from 3 to 6, and hopefully next year we're going to flip more seats and we're going to be 10. But really, I could not be doing what I'm doing without them. We are fighting the radicals. We are 6 amongst 51. And it's not easy, but it's a lot of fun, right? So, thank you. Okay, so the election, we have less than a week till the election, and like Chairman Kassar, I also think that Donald Trump is going to win. And honestly, you know how I know we're winning? Because our opponent, Kamala, in reality, she's the most radical, she was the most radical senator in the country. And all of a sudden, she's running for president without getting a single vote, mind you. But she's running for president, and all of a sudden, she's become a moderate overnight. And all her issues, all of a sudden, she wants to secure the border. In fact, she's telling us the border is secure because of her policies. All of a sudden, she's supporting the middle class. All of a sudden, she's supporting Israel. All of a sudden, she's stealing Trump's ideas on no tax on tips. I love that idea. I think it's amazing that she stole it from Donald Trump. And the Democrats are so freaking desperate. On Sunday, myself, a couple of my colleagues, and Chairman as well, we all went to, apparently, a Nazi rally. You know, I had family that was slaughtered in the Holocaust, and apparently on Sunday showed up at a Nazi rally, you know, supporting the Nazis. It's amazing. They are so desperate, and that's how we know we're winning. So all of you, please, we still have less than a week, but we still have time. I'm not just asking that each one of you vote, because I know that every single one of you will come out to vote. I'm asking you to do some homework and make sure that you get 20 friends and family members to come out to vote on Tuesday, or early voting. It is really, really crucial, and God willing, we're going to win in a landslide, right? We're going to win in a landslide? Yes?